What is up everybody? Welcome back to the Crew 2, and in this video I'm going to go over my top 2 favorite Demolition Derby vehicles in the entire game here. So I would probably say this class is going to be on par with like the Aerobatics, at least when it comes to the popularity and or if people actually want to use these type of vehicles. To be honest guys, I really don't drive these cars all that much because I don't really see a reason to. I would say if you do want to level them up for like summits, then that would probably make sense, but besides that, I really don't see many people driving around in these Demolition Derby cars, but nonetheless, guys, starting off here with the second car of my choice is going to be the Fender Firenze, or maybe it's actually Firenze, but nonetheless, though, tomato, tomato, I would say. This car, honestly, guys, is going to be a bit shocking because at first I kind of thought it was terrible. I would actually say the Fender here is going to be a really great car when it comes to racing. I actually found this car to be insanely fun to use, and compared to some of the other ones like the Dodge Charger, which honestly that car was slightly disappointing because I wasn't expecting it to be that bad. For some odd reason it wasn't gripping all that great. It also was very slow. I was noticing when trying to shift through the gears, which by the way it is a 4-speed transmission, that car was so dang slow I was like, you know what? This thing's not even going to be close to hitting this list right now, so let's jump into the Fender and actually see what this car is going to do. And to my surprise, guys, this car is going to be better than that car in every single way, especially when it comes to like overall acceleration and handling. But if you guys are in the market for a different Demolition Derby vehicle, I would definitely recommend the Firenze. I do believe that's how that's actually pronounced, but I did find this car to be really good in a lot of different ways because I was trying out some of the other Demolition Derby vehicles in races, and my goodness, I could not stand the way they were handling and or the speed that they did have. Do keep in mind, guys, the Demolition Derby cars are definitely not going to be insanely fast. I actually believe they all do like 140 to 150. I think maybe 160, but they really do struggle to get there. And you also fly through the nitrous insanely quickly with these as well, so do keep that in mind when you guys do mess around with these vehicles. But overall, I do think this Fender Firenze is going to be a really good option. So the Fender Firenze was by far going to be one of my favorite cars for racing. I did try out the Bulk and like something like the Vero as well, and I just did not like these cars, guys. I did not find them to be that good. I really do think the Fender here is going to be a great option for racing, but if you guys want an overall vehicle that can do racing and or some of the demolition derbies, which I do know a lot of players are not the biggest fan of, the Fender Frontiera is still to this day going to be my overall favorite Demolition Derby car in the Crew 2. It's also going to look pretty dang awesome as well, but if you guys are looking for a car that can actually do like actual Demolition Derbies, which I have noticed depending on the classes on the Crew 2, finding one vehicle that can actually do good in multiple things can be a bit of a challenge. I really would say the Frontera here is going to be a great option for racing and or demolition derbies. Now, one of the main reasons why, guys, I said this class is not really that used similar to the aerobatics in the beginning of the video is mainly because I do not see a lot of people run these vehicles, and I really personally do not see a point of actually running any of the demolition derby cars unless they show up in a summit. I know a lot of people probably don't even have these maxed out, and or will try to do one of the summits that will get you an actual set to get these maxed out for that matter. Because if you guys do have a Nitro Chemist set for these cars, you can do the races and or regular Demolition Derby events. I feel like the Demolition Derby cars are probably going to be in the type of class where once you actually get them maxed out, you're most likely not going to be messing around with these vehicles that much in the future, unless you actually have to pull one out for like one of the summits, which scoring on the Demolition Derby events I did notice can be slightly RNG based. Luckily, doing the actual races with these cars, guys, are really not that bad and actually pretty dang fun. Sure, they're not going to handle the best for racing, but they're also not going to be the worst. I was finding the Frontera to be insanely good on the events. One thing I did notice though is the Firenze is also going to be a really good option for racing as well, if you guys are looking for something to get around these tracks as fast as possible, and also get into that platinum score as quickly as possible as well, because that's obviously the goal with some of these vehicles. You will definitely want to aim for a car that will be able to do races and or do the demolition derby events as well, and or have one car like the Frontera, guys, that you might want to use on like the regular demolition derby events, and then jump into something like the Firenze where you can use that on races. So these two cars are by far going to be my favorite ones in this class, and I really do feel like the Demolition Derby class is going to be in a very odd place because I do not see a point of running these cars, guys. I do want to know your thoughts on the Demolition Derby cars in the comments below. Like, do you guys actually run these vehicles that often in the game, and would you actually like to see some type of change with these, like in Motorfest or something like that? I feel like this class is probably going to be in a similar category to the aerobatic planes, where a lot of people probably just don't use them unless they do want to max them out to get them set up for summits when they actually have an event in those summits with these specific classes. So having a few go-to vehicles in each class, guys, is definitely going to be worth a look. I will be going over the rest of the classes for my top vehicles in those as well, so definitely stay tuned for those in the near future. But the Fender Frontiera, guys, is still going to remain one of my favorite Demolition Derby cars in the game. I even ran this car a very long time ago. I think it was over a year ago. I was still running this car on a lot of the events. I also recently started using the Fender Firenze as well. That car is also insanely good for racing. I would recommend trying out both of these vehicles and seeing what you guys like and don't like about them, and or maybe having one car for like Demolition Derby events and or using one for racing like I did mention earlier. That's actually what I have been doing with these, and I've been finding them both to be insanely good in their own environments. But let me know what you guys think about these cars in the comments below, and here are the settings I'm currently running on both of them.